The sun dipped low over the dusty ridges of Red Hollow Valley, painting the sky in blood and gold. The preacher's small chapel stood at the edge of town, like a final whisper of faith against the wilderness. Inside, Mary Whitlock, the preacher's only daughter, stood at the cracked window watching the horizon darken. Her pale hands clutched the wooden frame, her heart caught between duty and dread. They were coming. 4 men, the Dalton brothers, the biggest, boldest cowboys this side of Texas. The town called them heroes and sinners, all in the same breath. They had fought off raiders, tamed wild horses, and commanded men twice their number. But tonight their boots would strike the chapel floorboards. And their business was with her. Mary had heard their names whispered after sermons, the way women spoke of danger in the dark, hushed and hungry. Boone, the eldest, all calm command and steel-blue eyes. Chase, his laughter sharp as a whip crack. Luke, the quiet one who watched more than he spoke. And River, the youngest, reckless and wild-hearted. Together they were a storm. When the church bell rang once, low and long, she flinched. The door opened. Dust and wind swept in first, then the 4 shadows. They filled the doorway like they owned the light. Boone stepped forward, tipping his hat low. "Evening, Miss Whitlock." Her throat felt dry. "Evening, Mr. Dalton." Boone's gaze didn't waver. "We came because your pa sent word. He's gone missing out past the ridge. Said you'd have what we need to track him down." Mary's heart twisted. Her father, missing. She didn't know whether to weep or pray. "I only have his old map," she whispered, pulling a folded paper from a drawer. Her hands trembled as she offered it to Boone. Chase leaned on the pew, smirking. "You sure that's all, darling? Your pa always said you had the kind of courage that could lead men straight through hell." Mary took a small step back. The intensity of their presence, the heat in their eyes, made her chest tighten. "I don't lead men," she said softly. "I follow faith." Luke's deep voice cut through the silence. "Faith won't get your father back, ma'am." "But we might." Boone nodded once, unfolding the map. "We ride at dawn. You're coming with us." Her eyes widened. "With you? I can't. My place is here." "Your place," Boone interrupted, his tone steady but fierce, "is where your courage is needed." And your pa's last words were clear. You were to join us. The chapel grew silent but for the groan of old wood and the whisper of the wind outside. Mary's breath quickened. She had dreamed of adventure beyond Red Hollow, but never like this, not under the eyes of 4 men who seemed carved from the land itself. River grinned, boyish and dangerous. "We'll keep you safe, preacher's girl. Ain't nobody gonna lay a hand on you unless we say so." That should have scared her. But something inside her, something quiet and secret, stirred instead. Boone folded the map, tucking it into his coat. "Pack what you need. We ride in 1 hour. Don't keep us waiting, Mary." They turned to leave, their boots echoing through the chapel. The door swung open again, and the dying sun cut across their broad shoulders like firelight on armor. Mary stood frozen until they vanished into the dusk. For a long moment, she didn't move. Then she looked at the wooden cross above the altar. "Father," she whispered, "if this is the path you've chosen, give me strength to walk it." Her heart thundered as she gathered her things, her father's Bible, a small pistol he'd hidden under the pulpit, and a silver locket with her mother's portrait. By the time she stepped outside, night had claimed the valley. 4 horses waited by the hitching post, steam curling from their nostrils. Boone looked at her once, eyes unreadable. "Mount up." Her fingers shook as she gripped the saddle horn, but she climbed anyway. Chase gave a low whistle. Didn't think a preacher's daughter had that much grit. Mary lifted her chin, meeting his grin with quiet fire. "Then maybe you don't know as much about faith as you think." Boone's mouth twitched, the ghost of a smile. "We'll see about that." The night wind carried the sound of hooves as they rode out toward the mountains, 5 souls bound by faith, danger, and something deeper neither dared to name. The moon rose over Red Hollow like a silent witness, and though Mary Whitlock didn't know what awaited her beyond the ridge, she felt, for the first time in her life, alive.